Shabbat Shalom, my people, and you are welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. And the Parashat that we are discussing about this morning is called Parashat Teitzei, and it means when you go out. When you go out, and when you capture, when you take in, and then how are you going to do what you going to do? They are subtitled the Parashat of this morning, Teitzei, as nurturing your faith or your relationship, not religion. Nurturing your relationship, your faith in the Holy One, blessed be He, not religion. People nurture religion instead of nurturing their faith, instead of nurturing their relationship with the Holy One. But to them, relationship, faith is secondary. The primary is religion. And I have never seen where your religion saves you. Judaism will not save you. Christianity will not save you. No Buddhism will not save you. No religion under the sun will save you. What will save you is your faith, relationship with the Holy One, blessed be He. There is no question that we pay for the conveniences of life. Everybody pay for their convenience. Convenience is measured in time, in effort, and in availability. It is more convenient to just go to the store and buy tomatoes or all kinds of pepper or all kinds of vegetables, meat, chicken, and so on and so forth, saving the investment of supply and effort. It is also cheaper than growing them on a small scale, because those people that supply those food chain, they grow them in what? In big, giant, in a big stream like that. But here is the thing. Growing thing in your own garden has no connection with convenience. No. Growing thing by yourself has nothing to do with convenience. No, it has nothing to do with it. But there is an abundance of satisfaction, confidence building, and learning about God's word, which otherwise goes unnoticed. I do not want to come across as a novice, because I am not. When it comes to farming, that is what I did since I was born until when I was 19 years old, back in my country. Every day we go farming. My grandfather taught me this leaf. I told us many times, the first leaf that they teach you, the first ever leaf that they teach you back home is the leaf to cure snake poison. That's the first ever leaf. Any parent will teach their son or daughter. So if you see a snake bite, this is the leaf to take. Put it down there, it will suck out the poison. Okay, that is the first, because snake is everywhere. So you have to be very, very careful. That's the first teaching that I'm going to teach you. So I grew up in the farm, and I love farming a lot because it teaches me a lot of principle, a lot of things. So let's look at it in this way. The incredible way of God's word are seen so clearly and beautifully by simply watching and caring for things as they grow and mature. The more tending and loving care giving should produce outstanding results, right? But this is not always the case. It also depends on some variable. For example, what are these variables? For example, the rain, right? For example, the soil. You have to make sure that your soil has nutrients, fertilizer, good things, right? So that the seed can grow. And also the sun. Like me and my wife, as I told us 2 weeks or 2 weeks ago, we watched this program about farming. And in England, and this man, we said, oh, they put thousands of dollars, of pounds, of investment in their plantation. And behold and lo, too much rain. It killed all the seed. You think that rain is good, eh? But when it's too much, it's not good. And then they cry, they shout, they say, okay, we don't need rain too much. Okay, God answered them. The next year, there is no rain again. And they invest, everything is dry. All the seed die because there is no rain at all. It's so dry. You see, everything has to be in a measure, like in balance. If it's not in balance, it won't work. So this variable does not depend on who? Does not depend on us. It depends on what? On the Holy One, blessed be He. As the saying, man work, but it is God that blesses it. You can do all kind of work. You can try all your best, but the only one that bless that work is God. If God does not bless that work, I'm telling you, everything is in vain. Total vain. Hard work alone has limits, but divine favor multiplies your result far beyond your own strength. It's the same. I repeat again. Hard work alone has a limit, but divine favor multiplies your result far beyond your own strength. Because when you have $1, the Holy One, blessed be He, multiply it to become $100. And the person that has $100, the Holy One who's not listening, who's a sinner, the Holy One puncture it and it becomes $0. You see, you have to understand the principle in the spirituality, how it works. Through all this fascination, worship the fruit of watering and feeding, I also face some frustration and disappointment, like for example in my wife's garden. I'm coming now. Things were well done when I noticed many of the leaves are on in some of the plants were having holes. A lot of holes on those leaves. What is going on with this plant? The seed is good, right? I prepare the soil well. You know, my son and my wife, they water everything. So how come this leaf is having hole? Behold and lo, it was slug. What am I going to do with this slug? You know, they come in the morning, early in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., because in the sun they run back into the hole, right? They come and start eating the leaf. And if there is no leaf, the plant won't survive, no? Because it is the leaf that attracts the sun, manufacture the food, and make the plants to grow. And it's also from the leaf that the branches will grow for the flower. The flower will produce the seed, and the seed, if those things are not there, the seed won't grow, right? So we need to understand this very, very well. So although all this process of working with plants, I understand that the fruit and vegetable grow leaves, and from these leaves comes the flower. The flower will bud, and from these flowers, those flowers, the fruit literally will pop out. A small little bud grows bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually become the seed. The seed or the fruit that you're actually looking for. Right? The little ball will turn and become green. From green, it becomes red or yellow or whatever color it is when it ripes, right? But throughout the leaves, no flower. Without the leaves, there will be no flower, and without the flower, there will be no fruit for you to harvest. Of course, there are ways to get rid of those those worms, those slugs. But I don't want, for example, I don't want to use chemicals. Because if you use chemical, you are also damaging yourself. Because at the end, you are going to eat that fruit and you are poisoning yourself. Yes, there are. I can use salt, but I don't want to put too much salt to keep the slug, right? They die, but your soil. I take in too much salt, because salt is sodium and chloride. I don't want too much chlorine. You know, chlorine is not too good too. So in Canada, I don't know, there is no, for example, no natural predator, you know, for slug. You know that if you can see a predator that can eat them. I don't. My wife was saying there is I don't know what's the name of this bird. Like a dog. But dog does not eat slug, he eats only snail, not a slug. But so anyway, in Canada it's not any natural predators, and that's why you see them, they multiply without control. You can only use chemical or all those things, but I don't want to do that one by one. Sometimes I just pick them one by one and go and dump them and throw them somewhere else. After a few weeks of witnessing the budding, they enlarge, turn from green to red, we were able I'm very ready to pick a handful of fresh cucumber, tomatoes, onions, and kale. That's because my wife plants a lot of variety, and I love when she's planting it, because for me, I can understand, I can see the process. The problem that we have in this world is that ask many people, they tell you that what do you call it? The yam, yam? The yam grow on the tree. People think like that. Because you've never seen a yam, you only see it in the store. They tell you, the chicken it grow from banana tree. Good luck. Because they've never seen a live chicken. The chicken that they see is always already prepared, ready on the shelf, right? They just go there and pick the chicken, and they have no relationship with those things that we buy. To us, we are completely outside the nature. We are completely we have no idea on how these things are grown. You don't see it. You only see it in the shop, prepared, ready, you pay your money, you get what you want, and you go. So if we always do like that, how can you understand the process? That when I was young, and when you see the process of farming, you see how hard the farmers work. Extremely hard. In the rain, in the hot sun, they work hard preparing the soil, planting, watering, doing everything, asking God for rain, for the sun, everything to make sure that this thing is properly prepared and ready. And then they can able to do what? Feed the nation, feed everybody, feed their home, feed their family. It's not easy. But for us in North America, we've lost that contact, because everything is already ready in IGA. Everything is ready in Super C. Everything is ready in any kind of supermarket, whatever supermarket that you go. You can't see yourself in that relationship with those produce that you buy. And this is the same thing that the Holy One is talking about here this morning. If we cannot see ourselves in a relationship with Him, because if you think that everything is hunky-dory, as some people will tell you, repent and that is it. I'm born again, only one. And once you're born again, there is no more issue that you can continue to commit sin, but because you're born again once, everything is fine. You see, such a dark theology, such an evil understanding of the Torah, which Torah never said. But that is the way that people are taking, because they want to justify, they want to rationalize their iniquity, their sin, not to feel guilty of what they are doing. I'm born again, that is it, everything is fine. There is no relationship between them and their Creator. So, furthermore, as I said, my wife is a very vivid gardener. She loves to garden, and I love that. But most of the time, I fight with her, because why? She plants all those things with all effort and everything. Sometimes she doesn't water, and I get angry. I say, why do you do all this effort and you plant and this thing is growing and you don't water it and you kill the plant? It doesn't make sense. You have to water them every way. Or sometimes she shouts at me, hey, Daddy, you overwater again. Every time when you overwater, you kill the plant, which is true. Sometimes I kill the plant because I overwater too, because I'm compassionate about the plant to get more water, but in my being compassionate, I overdo it. Oh man, I say, my God, help me. So all those things are those imbalances that we have to make sure that it's balanced. She always purchases a few different vegetables, and grow a variety in a mini farm, aka garden. This of course require more time and increased financial investment, because you need to buy all the seed, you need to prepare the soil and make sure that things are properly done. So, and also you have to create more space for the plant. The greatest lesson was the realization of how much we need to rely on God, on how dependent we are upon Him for everything that we do in our life. Remember, I said, hard work alone has limits, but the divine favor multiply your result far beyond your own strength. It's all by the favor of God. When you plant, that series that I was about farm that I watched gave me a lot of understanding. It's not about your hard work. It's about God that favors you. The success is not solely on our watering or caring for the plant, or the seed initially should be of a good quality, and the soil should contain the best nutrient and degree of water and sun for the seed to germinate. All those are prerequisites. Those are the initial things that you have to take care of before you do what? Before you plant. Because if you don't take care of all those things, you are just wasting your what? Your time. The same thing with the Torah. If you are not ready, if you didn't prepare the soil, your spiritual soil, make sure that everything is good. When the seed enter, it will never germinate. Yeshua gave us that understanding. Some enter into some part that is full of thorns. Some enter into some part that is completely dry like desert. Some enter into some side, it grows, but later on it dies. Because there is no continuation of what? Of watering. While some enter and it grows and it germinates and it bears fruit. Because there is constant what? Nurturing. There is constant feeding. There is constant sun, by the power of God that nourish that fruit or that seed, to grow. The biggest factor in all of these is to understand that we are not in control of the amount of sunlight required for the nurturing and growth of this plant. In short, only God is in control. We are not in control. We can do our best and we hope for God to bless it. That is it. You as a parent can do your best for your children. You can take them to the river. You can take them to the stream. Or you can force them to drink the water. You can't. As a mama, as a papa, you can do your best spiritually for your children. But your children have to decide, am I going to go the way of my father or go the way of my mother? Or follow the God of my father or my mother when they become an adult? They tell you whatever they want to tell you. Or you can force them. But this is the trick. The Torah said, when you put the leg, I see they always say that, of your child from the beginning on the path. When he grows, he will not depart from that path. But if he knows, she knows, not any other path. That is the only path she knows, or he knows. That is the idea. So, from the initial stage, from the beginning, you put their legs on that path. So that they don't know any. He said, you cannot go and worship any other gods that you don't know. That is not you don't know them. But me, you know. Because I took care of you in the desert. I took you out of Egypt. And I provide for you, and I protect you, and I brought you down to the land that is filled with milk and honey. We have a relationship. We have history. But with the other gods, you don't have history with them. How can you say they are your God when you don't have any relationship or any history with them? It doesn't make sense. But with me, we have history. We have relationship. We discuss, we talk. We fight, yes. We argue, yes, but we understand one another. That is the idea. The beauty of planting created within me another angle of realization. I need to divine to the Holy One, blessed be He, for yet another matter. My wife's vegetable garden. So I incited another request, adding to my long list of things that the Holy One, blessed be He, should do what? Reveal to me how this process takes place one by one. But when you sit down, you have a camera, you put it in the garden. And if you fast forward that camera, you will see how this plant grows, how they develop, how the leaves comes out one by one, how this seed goes into the earth, they die, and they become a living again. Yeshua said so in one of his messages. He said a seed cannot germinate except it does what? It dies first. The seed has to die first before it germinates. When it dies, it germinates and it bears fruit, thousands and millions. That is the idea in nature. upon reviewing this parasha of today, Parashat Teitzei, which I subtitle Nurturing Your Relationship and Your Faith, Not Religion, I notice that the Torah gives us an instruction manual regarding how to yield a good harvest. In Parashat Teitzei, the Torah states in Devarim chapter 24, verse 19, and this is what it said: when you reap your harvest in your field and have forgotten a sheaf in the field, you shall not go back again to take it. It shall be for the strangers, for the fatherless, and for the widows, that the Holy One, blessed be He, your God, may bless you in all of the work of your hands. I repeat again: when you reap your harvest in your field and have forgotten a sheaf in the field, you shall not go back again to take it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widows, that the Lord your God may bless you in all of your work of your hands. This is the question. We were discussing that yesterday, and I was asking my people a question. Is it possible for you to clear your shelf and you forget one? It's a question. For me, I think it is nearly impossible for you to cut your sin and you say, I forget one, because a wheat or a barley are like this, right? When you cut them, it's all clear. When you finish everything, you look at it, you look. You just say, okay, I forget. Because it's going to be standing there, you will see clearly. But this is what the Holy One is saying. You shall intentionally forget. His idea. You shall intentionally live it. It's not that, oh, voila, I forget about it. No. It is intentional. You shall live it for the poor, for the fatherless, for the motherless, for the strangers in your field. Intentionally live it, because you know that they have to eat too. But remember, these are people, they don't have land. They don't have what you have. The blessing that you have, they don't have it, but they have to eat. The Lord that opened his hand that feed all his creation. That is the idea. Leave it for them, that God will bless you. And what is God saying? God is telling you very simple principle. Be merciful, be compassionate, and be gracious, just like me. And that is it. Be merciful. Don't be hardened. Don't be tight-handed. I bless you, you should do what? Repay back, bless others. That is the idea. Pay back, bless others. Intentionally live it. Cut. You have, for example, 10 acres. Cut 9 acres, 1 acre, leave it. Intentionally, do not touch it. Let those people come and do better. God didn't say, cut it. Remember the Torah. God didn't say, cut it and go and give it to them. No. They have to come. They have to work too. That is the idea. They must work. A man that does not work must not eat. That's what the Torah says. It's clear. 100%. Because Torah didn't say, cut and go and, it's a work. You cut the wheat or the barley, you still have to process it. Right? You still have to grind it to become a flour, and God didn't say, do that. It's a simple instruction. It's not hard. Leave 1 acre. Let them come. If you are hungry. But if you are not hungry, like in Canada, right? In my country, we say a beggar has no choice. The only country under the sun that I know that a beggar has a choice is Canada. I'm telling you, a friend of mine who is a Muslim tells me, Muhammad is his name. He said, do you know that I went to him to help me to repair my car? He said, Rabbi. I said, yes. I will tell you, I have never seen a country like this. I said, what happened? He said, do you know that there is a guy that came that he was asking me for food. That I should give him money for food. I said, I don't have the money for food, but I have a bread in my car. I took the bread. The guy said, I don't need your bread. I said, what kind of a country? If you are hungry and I'm giving you bread and you say you don't need my bread but you need my money, does that make sense? So that is the way the country has become. The Torah didn't say, do that. The bread is there. Go work for it. Go, shave it, clear it. If you are really hungry, you will process it. But if you are not hungry, then it's a different case. So we need to understand this nature is simple. And God taught us clearly through natures. Right? So, I continue. So, Rabbi Samson Raphael Hash said this in one of his statements. He told us that that most of agricultural mitzvot have all been mentioned in the book of Vayikra. We remember that. In the book of Vayikra, chapter 19, verse 9, and chapter 23, verse 22. All the laws about agricultural produce has already been mentioned there. There was fully where it was fully explained that this harvest gifts were to be reserved for the poor. He told us one by one, you have to reserve this for the poor, for the needy, for the strangers among you, for those people that come to live with you. He gave us all those instructions. But this duty of the harvest, its meaning of being conditional for happiness and blessing in the land, is understood to be a continuous act of recognition for our redemption out of the land of Egypt. Remember, in Egypt we have no land. Initially we had a land, right? Where we grazed our plant and so on. And later on, everything was what? Confiscated. Then we begin to live on what? On ration, on slavery ration. They give you, okay, you have 2 ounces of bread for you for today, 2 ounces of water for you to drink, and then you go back to your feet and work and bake the stone or the brick. You know, everything was confiscated and taken back. You have to remember that. The only one blessed he said, remember those hardships. That if you remember those hardships, you will know that this stranger, this poor man, this poor woman, this fatherless is also hard. So you have to remember and be compassionate and be merciful and do the same thing I did for you in Egypt for them. You have to repay back the goodness I have given you to them. So this should be in the forefront of our mind, of the mind of the people here at this junction, when the people were about to move into the land of Canaan. At the same time, a fresh harvest gift, which was not mentioned previously in the book of Vayikra, is now added here. This is the law of Shekha, which means the law of forgetting, and the law for the fruit tree. It's not that you forget, you intentionally forget. You intentionally leave it for the poor to come and eat. In this instance, the solution and guarantee for a good harvest is not only the bearing to the Holy One, but the requirement to take care of those who do not have land of their own. When we were in Egypt, as I said, we did not have our own land. Everything was confiscated and taken. We cannot plant by ourselves. We depend upon receiving a slave ration. If we provide for God's children who do not have produce of their own, He will guarantee that whatever we plant will prosper. I'm telling you, it's 100% guarantee. He will follow the Torah exactly the way it's written. I am sure, I'm telling us, the Holy One, blessed be He, guarantee 100% of prosperity if you extend your hand of help for your fellow man. That is it. Somebody is looking for, say, oh, I don't have the bread. Okay, monsieur, today I have half bread, I give you half, and I have the opportunity for you to go and work. I give you all the contact, and you sit down in your house, you cross your leg, and say, God give me work, God give me work. Somebody has already given you a contact to go and get the job. But you sit down, you don't want to go and get the job. How does that work? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. So you have to stand up, phone that contact, go to that contact, say, oh, this is, okay, I remember. Yeah, come and start working. And when you work, you do what? You progress. You get money. You get paid. You can take care of your what? Expenses. And you can pay that ahead of again for another person. Parashat Teitzei, nurturing your relationship and your faith with the Holy One. In the book of Matthew chapter 25, verse 34 to 40, Yeshua HaMashiach gave us the same principle. and it will be on the last day when the king will come and say, I have no clothes, you give me clothes. I have no bread, you give me bread. I have no water, you give me water. I have no roof, you give me a place to live. And the people, the righteous will say, the king, when didn't you have clothes or all these things that we did and that we did it to you? You say, oh, because you did it to one of my people, one of those my children, you have done it unto me. That is the same principle. Yeshua came, Yeshua gave us the Torah, and he explained to us the Torah, and he even came back and he began to explain it even though in a more simple form for us to understand what he's talking in the Torah. Because you might say, oh, the Torah language is too hard. He said, okay, it's too hard, I come myself. I gave you Moshe, you don't understand. Okay, I gave you Aaron, you don't understand. I gave you Eliyahu, you don't understand. I gave you all the prophets. Okay, I come myself. Right? I will give you in a simple form, and still yet you don't understand. That is human. We never understand because we rationalize. Right? Oh, maybe if I do this and do that, it will work. But the Torah said, don't do that. Yeah, okay, I want to do it, I want to try it. Okay, go try it. If it works, come and tell me if it works. No? We have to understand it's not hard. Upon further reflection, it comes to mind that we have multiple personality and identity in our relationship, not religiosity to our God. Adonai, our God, is our Father, number 1. Number 2 is our King. Number 3 is our healer. Number 4 is our Master. Right? The verse describes the stranger, the orphan, and the widow in the context of individual entitled for our benevolence. We need to understand that all these people, they need our help. We need to assist them. We need to bless them. When you bless them, actually you are not blessing them. If you look at it in the reverse angle, you are blessing yourself. That is the idea. You are blessing yourself. Likewise, each and every one of us in our relationship to the Holy One, to our God, sometimes view as though we do not know who our Father is, and that we are estranged from Him because of our what? Of our sins, because of our shortcoming, because of our iniquity, or because of our transgression. We will say on Yom Teruah, aka Rosh Hashanah, right? And also on Yom Kippur, that there is no shekha, which means that there is no forgetting by God. I'm going to say that in our prayer, that God does not forget. He doesn't forget, right? But here, God is saying, we shall intentionally forget all those things, right? For the poor to take. And this is where the understanding is. When we think of those the Torah single out who need special attention, remember that God does not forget. When we think of those the Torah singles out who need special attention, this should actively be internalized, realizing we are those people vis-a-vis ourselves to God. I'm telling you, when we are that man that is homeless, that is fatherless, that is motherless, that is a stranger, and the Holy One takes you all as his children, and he feeds you, he blesses you, he sustains you, he gives you everything that you can ever need. Why don't you just pass it over a little to the other one who needs? Now is the time to nurture a unique relationship, and I repeat, not religiosity, please, relationship, your faith with the Holy One, blessed be He, and actively put more effort into growing in our service to the Lord, in our avodah to Him. We have all emerged from a tiny seed which needs tender nurturing through spiritual nourishment day by day, bringing us all to fruition as we approach the coming year. Remember, all of us emerged from a what? From a tiny seed. All of us. Everyone under the sun, as far as you are a flesh and bone, you emerge from a microscopic tiny seed. and the woman nurture, right? That seed grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, and behold and lo, it's a human being. No? And you are born. And the woman didn't forget to say, oh, voila, hallelujah, and kick you. No? No. It takes you again, breastfeed again. Voila, 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 for 1 year, 2 years, right? Hey, I didn't say, oh, you can walk now, Baba. No. Begin to teach you again a lot of things. House you, clothing, for a lot until you are an adult. Can you imagine the process? It's not hard. If you look at those process, imply the same thing spiritually. I'm telling you, the same thing. It's a long process, but at the end, it will favor you. It's good. I'm telling you. So at the end, when you pass on goodness will follow you. At the end, when you pass on greatness will follow you. Whatever you pass on will follow you. It's all the word we say, what goes round comes round. It's always like that. Or some people will say is what's the name? The law of law of karma, or whatever they call it. It's the same. And our sage call it what? Measure by measure. That is it. It's measure by measure. Any name that you can give to it is left for you, but the principle is the same. So we need to understand this thing. When we do what is good, you will surely receive what is good. Don't be tired. Don't say, oh, I try. I do everything. I'm not. No. Continue. Don't say I'm exhausted. Continue to do what is right. And the Holy One will continue to bless and sustain you as you go. Parashat Teitzei, nurturing your faith, nurturing your relationship, not a religion. Shabbat Shalom.